Gen Zs value a longer term career. But when we ask the same question to them, right, to say that how many of you actually value a longer term career with this particular firm, 60% of them came back and saying that I value. So there is some misperceptions that, of course, both generations are kind of working, together with. Um, and it's interesting because that's what gets played out in terms of behaviors. That's got what gets played out in terms of managing careers, so on and so forth. Um, I would now like to invite anyone, from the room. It's really, there's no sequence to talk, but if anyone wants to share some examples about managing Gen Zs, some interesting examples. And yeah, I saw Runita. Yeah, you okay? Okay.
Yeah, I'm Runita. I represent Airtel. And this year we hired uh, across 19 states from 100 campuses. And very, very different kind of challenges. The first thing is when we look at the premier tier for premier roles, we don't have to make a pre-placement talk, etc. We want our alums to do that. And we've been doing that for the last 15 years. Also, we hire a lot through case comps. What we do here differently is that the final set of 100 get mentors internally from Airtel, and these are usually circle CEOs. These are usually really senior people. So they are mentored for 1 month. And in that 1 month, of course, we are teaching them, but we're also equally evaluating them. So by the time they come for the final pitch, we already know who we want to hire and why. We're, that day is about, the final is just about making the offer. But in the process, we would have hired maybe 10 to 12 that day, but we mentored actually that many. So that's just something which the students really value. And it's a great opportunity. So that's what we do at the premier tier. For the rest, we've gone hyper-local. We don't, when I'm looking at feet on street, if I'm hiring for Bareilly, I'm going to a Bareilly campus. Here, because we pay that way, the role is feet on street sales. And we've realized that that talent will stay with you longer because of where you're hiring them from and how you're training them. Yes, there's a big batch that grows with you, but there's also a big batch that moves away. And we're okay, with that. So the hyperlocal approach brings with it a lot of challenges in terms of which are the right set of campuses, how do you get the right talent, are you really going to visit so many campuses, how do you really do an assessment so that the same set of people that you hired in one state are very similar to another state that you end up hiring. And we are battling with it. We've not fully solved that one. But another thing that I want to talk about is that we are all thinking, the theme today is nation builders. We're all thinking MBA, BTech. But at Airtel today, I have 35,000 people that come into all your homes when they're setting up their broadband, when they're setting up your Wi-Fi. And here, earlier, the thought process was that we need people diploma because, they need technical savvy. But we've realized that if you have the right set of technology, you can actually hire an 8th pass person because the tech, they come with a slate, they come with a tab in your home, and it'll tell you which is the best place to keep that Wi-Fi box. It'll tell you which is the best place for the wiring to happen. So pretty much the tech has solved the need for that kind of talent. Yeah. So right now we're actually in a pilot hiring 8th pass for those roles, just to see that what is it that we've not thought through in our head. It's making a lot of sense, right? The tech is helping us achieve this, right? Here are people that would normally not get jobs, right? That the type that we are offering, and I think that what's that trying to solve is, of course, longevity. Of course, we're trying to see that what kind of talent would stay, what kind of talent that you groom, that that really grows with you in those roles. So, I mean, when we offer roles, they are right from the premier roles to the 8th pass, and that is really the offering. And to add to what you were saying earlier, uh, 25 to 27% of our roles close through mobility. That's a powerful, powerful pitch, right? And when we actually go to campus, we would only be talking about the movements that we've made, who's grown how, what has it led you to do. And another great thing is that we own them for 1 year, as in TA owns them for 1 year. I will not let rules get broken. I would not let their trainings get shortchanged. So I'm actually using that terminology own. It's really, showing everybody what my generation is. But, that's a fact. That's how much ownership I would have on it. I would not let, them not get the right kind of mentors. Because hiring them is one part of the job, right? Ensuring that they succeed is also a very, very big part of the job. And if it gets broken in the middle, we've seen that it leads to early attrition, etc. So we're really trying to see that, we're able to do a better job of this. Um, as we grow, I think we will be investing more and more in early career talent, because we think that that's the right way to go. Of course, there's a whole lot of simulation and Excel backward working that to get to that, what will you need to invest in the beginning? But I think we're getting there. I think we're getting there. So yeah.
Fascinating. I saw a lot of ladies. Yeah, and if anyone wants to quickly respond, right, it doesn't have to be always like somebody comes up with a different thought, but if anyone wants to quickly respond to what somebody said, because I found something very interesting on rigor, I'll pick you up on that. And because at one point in time we used to be very attracted to say that what is the rigor in this role? But with Gen Z, how do you sort of sell that? If something is very rigorous, ambiguous, is that still something which they will find exciting? I'll probably put that across later, but anyone,
Sure.
go ahead.
Yeah. So I definitely agree with whatever has come up on the table. But one thing that I can call about what Philips does is there's a lot of mentorship programs which go on across Philips. There are a lot of rotational programs which go across Philips for the early career talent. As you said that, they don't stick to one. After a year, they'll say, or something, can I do something new? Because they are very anxious also to learn everything in a very short span of time also. So, there's this whole program which has 8 rotations, and then they have a landing role, which also lets them to know what are their skill sets also, what is their interest that they would like to pitch in with. We definitely have a lot of mentor and buddy programs across. So with the early career talent which comes in for us, we do have a person who is a leader as well as a person for a day-to-day life activity. For certain small things, someone who is trying to, make the Gen Zs, more available to this is how the routine is, this is how the life is. And yes, we, as Philips is actually, diversified in many ways. We started with lighting, now we moved into a health technology organization. So there are different, number of skill sets that we hire, and rightly said, it is the alums that speak. They'd want to know their story. If we usually also we get them on campuses to talk to them, to understand what they are, because when they hear it from the horse's mouth that this is where the career graph has gone to, they believe more than any leadership going there and talking about that. So I just wanted to add that perspective.
Interesting. How many of us have actually an active alum program as a part of our EVP? Just a quick raise of hands. Quite a few, yeah, because I've seen. So I'm ex-PwC, and suddenly I find like a flurry of emails from saying that. And there are some very, very nice initiatives that they actually put up for the alum. So of course there's something going on there in terms of being able to attract, and leverage alums as being your brand ambassadors, which is very fascinating. Go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah, I wanted to touch upon the point, earlier we discussed, when we were talking about Gen Zs being, their attention span is less. If we look at our whole ecosystem, we are moving from commerce to quick commerce, so I think our whole ecosystem around them is also such, they have short reels. So as an organization, how do we pick up these clues, and how do we make sure that we change ourselves to cater to their needs? So, hi everyone, just to introduce myself, my name is Nancy Garg, and I head the talent acquisition at Orient Electric, which is a CK Birla Group company. Now, so we are a traditional manufacturing company, but again, how do you cater to Gen Z needs? One of the things that we did was to move to a flexi time policy. While we do not have a hybrid model yet, but we moved to a flexi time policy. Then Gen Zs, as a professional, they want to see they want to do meaningful jobs and how, as a company, you're investing in them. And again, traditional method of just conducting sessions, workshop, I don't think that works for them. So what we did is we, launched an online model called Saksham, which is an online tool. And now we are working on how do we position it as a Netflix, where we have reels on them, where they can surf on that online platform, and how do we make sure that they develop themselves by picking up courses which they feel is relevant for them. So these are some of the steps that we as an organization have taken, apart from the other which is in the pipeline.
Fascinating. Technology, right? And there's some interesting, and a client requirement actually came up recently. They said that, hey, how many of your clients have actually gone ahead and put in place a video-based job description, right? And I was kind of flummoxed. I just asked if not too many people had actually done that, right? But I have got like 3 such requests recently where organizations are evaluating, so that does there exist something like this? Okay, would love to sort of hear from some of you if you've considered this. So go ahead.
Yeah, I'll speak to, I think, the way that we've learned how to engage our talent pool, and I think there are like 3 broad areas of focus, or what we see works for them, or what they value. One is career, and I think it was talked about as well, and majority of our employees are millennial and Gen Z.